This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world. As Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome, America. That's right. This is the Invent America show, part of the Home Talk USA radio family. We like to do this hour. It's the second hour of our broadcast where we help inventors out and you that maybe have an idea for a product. You might not know the steps to take in getting your product to market. I mean, how do you patent it? How do you do get the mold made, or do the testing, or the find out if there's another patent or another technology that you're trying to do? A whole bunch of information here. What about insurance? What about licensing fees? Whole bunch of things you need to know. Well, my co-host, the Inventor lady herself, she can answer all these questions. She is my sidekick. And I'd like to welcome to the show Rita. How you doing, my darling?
I am doing well. And it is so nice to be able to reach out and touch so many of the American inventors out there, because, you know what? Invent America is because America invents, right?
That's right. And you heard our monologue. So
I did.
I read a lot going on in our industry right now, and let's be honest. We just got back off the trade show. We had a chance to meet a lot of new inventors. You had your own booth there at the show where you had, I think, 25 inventors that were there. But there's a lot going on in our industry. Inflation now is taking over all of us. Product availability. It's getting very, the supply chains are getting very short now. So there's a lot going on, and we just don't want our young inventors, to be, spending money and wasting money. So we got the blueprint to help them. And
we do.
And that, so if you listen to the show, it's free. We don't charge anybody, so you can actually get this advice. But we do have a great hour for you. We got some really good inventors coming on. So tell us a little bit about our show.
Well, the show today, we're going to kind of expand on the topic we had a couple of weeks ago, where we talked about that barrier to entry, and for one of the gentlemen, it was product liability insurance. I thought, let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. And for the inventors out there, or the people who think they might be inventors, I want to invite them to join us at the Inventors Roundtable, and you can find the link on my website. The meetings are free, but that's where then you get to ask questions. And a lot of times we'll have then, our expert on, at the meeting, so that, you can ask them your questions. And so making these resources available to all of the inventors across the country is what's so valuable, and what is our goal felt all the way down to our toes is to get that information out there for the inventors. And so on the show today, we've got two inventors. One is a seasoned inventor. He's been inventing for years. The other one's fairly new, and both of them have had to deal with product liability issues. And then our expert is Murray DeLine. He is out of the Colorado area, but his specialty is product liability insurance. And, he taught me a couple of things when I was asking him if he'd do the show, and he goes, some of it is the terminology you're using is not correct. It's, between someone saying, I want to license it and I want to find a manufacturer, could be the same company doing two very different things. So Murray's going to help educate us then as far as the right words to use with and the right place to go for product liability. It's not like you can just call up your Allstate dealer and have them, whip you out a policy, because they don't do it. So you've got to know where to go and who to ask and what to ask, and that's what we're going to discuss today.
But, we got a great show for people, and when we come back off the break, we're also going to let the audience know, and if you have a product and if you want to come on the show, there's no fee or anything. We don't charge our guests. We're not a pay-to-play network. We're also going to have that information for them also, right?
Exactly. And we've got a lot of great topics coming up that really you must have read the list, because you kind of went right through them as far as the topics coming up for our inventors, and giving them, the encouragement and the resources to be able to take that first step and decide, do they have anything? And then, if they do, what should they do as their first steps and to get through the process? Yeah. We used to laugh because we said that the old Inventor business model was have idea, get patent, make money. And we know there is just a lot more to it than that, and it's important to know what those steps are and how the pendulum swings in the cost. Getting a service provider, they say, you get what you pay for. Well, when it comes to like a patent attorney, more is not always more. It just means he's driving a better car, and sometimes you're the one paying for it. So how do you determine that? And that's what we're here to do, is to help the inventors make good business decisions so that they can get through the process and get the product to market.
Well, I like the idea you got the insurance guy coming on, because we had a situation a couple of weeks ago where one of the companies that one of the inventors was getting ready to distribute and put their product on the market and did all the steps and everything, and come to find out they the type of technology that they had requires a $5 million product liability policy, which nobody did the homework. So now he's not going to be able to he's going to have to go find a license, a licensee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes, knowing sooner rather than later helps you make better decisions in the steps. Yeah. So you don't get kind of, sidetracked or, bamboozled by not knowing what to expect. So had he known, even 6 months ago that this was going to be an issue, he instead of spending the money on manufacturing, he would have spent the money getting to probably a couple of more trade shows to find the licensing.
A licensing company that would just take it over and pay him a royalty. And look, to be honest with you, my rule of thumb is, and my rule of thumb is, if you have one product and you're a one-trick pony, get a licensing deal. Forget about manufacturing.
Exactly.
Because of what the cost of manufacturing. But as you start developing products, and if you have 4 or 5 or 6 products out there, then you might want to consider going into the manufacturing part of it. But to each its own, Rita. You know that. Well, hey, Rita, we're going to take a short break, okay?
Okay.
And we're just out of time, and we're going to get to our guests. Hey, I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King. This is the Home Talk USA radio program, the Invent America part of our show, along with my sidekick, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. So we're going to step away, got to pay some bills. Please visit our website at HomeTalkUSA.com. Check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com. We're going to come back with our first guests right here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNLive.com. I'm the Cajun Man. I'll be right back. Yay!
Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahee! Welcome back to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. All right, Rita, just before the break, though, I had made a comment about my personal rule of thumb between a manufacturing agreement and a licensing agreement, and when you should maybe just consider a licensing agreement. Well, our next guest had to realistically make that decision. And so tell us about our guest.
So our guest is Ian Osborn. I've known Ian for a long, long time. Was one of the first inventors I had ever met. And he's developed several products, and the majority of them are all in one industry. So he is a startup. He went into business and did his own manufacturing. So he's designed, developed, manufactured several inventions over the years and manufactures in the U.S. You know what? He's a perfect guest for another show, too, but we're going to wait on that one. But for now, all right, Ian, thank you so much for being with us. It's a pleasure I can't exactly see you, but it is a pleasure to have you on you've got a perfect voice for radio. How are you? Just fine. So anyway, the issue today is product liability insurance. So, Ian, tell us, where were you in your process that you decided, okay, I've got to get some product liability insurance? Because you sell to big companies. Most of the work you do is commercial work. So tell us a little bit about that and how you made that decision.
About a month and a half after I started manufacturing a singular product that went ballistic and started selling all over the world, the issue with me was that the product was also based with electricity. So I was using custom manufactured power supplies, drivers that were made to my specs by name brand companies. The issue is that I'm dealing with power. So if there's any kind of a liability of something catching on fire, that product liability insurance basically is saving my hide. It covers me in the event of something that goes wrong. Granted, we have in the stipulations, the warranty, and the disclaimers when we sell the product, if you are a contractor, it is under your liability insurance. If I install it, it's under my liability insurance. And because I do both installations and also sell to other commercial entities, it would make more sense for me to go ahead and get liability insurance for myself when I do giant commercial office complex.
Well, explain to people what it is that you do.
So my company designs and manufactures LED lighting products. We are exclusive to the lighting industry and LEDs. We take LEDs to design anything from a custom one-off project for clients to commercial streetlights that you see out in the streets today. We do wall packs for buildings. We do fluorescent tube replacements, which are all LED, all the way down to the single par bulbs that you see in a house. We've pretty much stayed away from that style because GE is involved in those. So we're pretty much specified into the arena of wall pack street lights and internal buildings, just because that's a conglomeration of products that are so broad that we can actually come in and do a niche version. We specialize in new 8-foot high-intensity grow lights that are 1 inch by 1 inch by 8 feet long that are used for all rows of plants.
You're the perfect example of an inventor who had, an idea that went to the big commercials. I mean, and I mean to the big industries, because a lot of us, will have things that are sold over the counter, to in a Target or a Bed Bath and Beyond or a Home Depot. So the consumer, the everyday do-it-yourselfer, is going in and buying it. They're not going to go in and buy yours. They may see yours in a parking lot and say, "Whoa, that's a cool light. Who developed that?" And it's Ian Osborn with Wild Ideas Light Company.
Right. We've done car dealerships in the past where they've asked for something that's unique and novel for their particular car dealership. So we design an entire structure and lighting assembly for that dealership that makes them look different than the other Honda dealership down the road. So people come in and they're like, "Oh, our cars are extremely well lit." Excuse me. And then you go to other dealerships and they're not lit the same way. Excuse me.
So back to our topic here. It's like, for some inventors, they either don't get any product liability or they go way overboard. How did you determine what you needed?
So there's two determining factors. Find a really good insurance broker to start, and the insurance broker will sit down with you, and they looked at the amount of volume I was actually producing and the cost of the product that I was actually manufacturing. And then they have a formulation table based off of two factors. For me, it was cost of the manufacturing of the goods, cost of the actual product, and then what was I physically getting my lights put into. So I was going into commercial buildings. So my product liability started at $10 million and worked up based on the type of facility I'm going into. And the broker that I use allows me to increase my liability based upon the job that I'm doing. So if I'm doing a 60,000 square foot superstore, I can take my product liability up to $100 million for that particular job, and it covers that job for 10 years. So I have the luxury of being able to pick and choose my timing based on the client. So all I had to do was provide product liability till the letter of CO was signed. I'm good for $10 million. And then as soon as they take over the building and I walk away, at that point, their liability and their building insurance covers everything because it's been signed off by the city and the state.
Yeah.
I now just cover warranty work.
All right. Well, you've made us understand that it's complicated and you need a really good insurance guy to help you out.
All right.
Yeah. It definitely is helpful.
You did a great job, my friend. Ian, thank you so much for being our guest.
You bet, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was Ian Osborn. Check him out at wildideaslightco.com. Right, Rita?
That's right.
All right, just spell it out. All right, then go to your website. What's your website, Rita, again?
Inventorlady.com.
We have the information there. All right, we take a short break. We'll come back with our next guest right here on the Invent America show with my sidekick, Rita Crompton, right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. Broadcast through the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. All rights reserved. I'll be right back. Yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome back, everyone. That's right. Each week and every week, this is the Invent America show, part of the USA, Home Talk USA radio family. each week, all we do, to be honest with you, is just click out here 3 times, and all of us say there's no place like home talk. Right, Rita?
That's right.
It's just click our heels 3 times. But, Rita, who's our next guest?
Our next guest is Dave Fegel. He was at the National Hardware Show with us, and it always makes me laugh when I see his background there, because he is one of our new inventors. Young might not be exactly a descriptive word for Dave, because he's an experienced gentleman at the age of 79. And he won the Retailer's Choice Award with his product with Clean Can Solutions product at the National Hardware Show. So we're very proud of you, Dave. Thank you so much for being on this show with us, and welcome.
Well, thank you, Rita. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your help in all aspects of this.
So it was funny because he goes, everybody keeps calling me a genius. So now when I call him on the phone, I say, is the genius there? But for the talk today, what we're looking at is the product liability insurance. So you've got a new product, Dave. You just won the Retailer's Choice Award. And after the show, you started getting in so many orders. And you're being featured in a magazine coming up, so you will get more orders. At what point now did you realize, oops, we need product liability insurance, or was there a wise person in your life, like your wife, who said, Dave, we need to get some product liability insurance?
Wow, there's an oxymoron for you. Well, we have an unusual connection, because my brother, who's a partner in this with my wife and I, is an independent insurance agent, has been since his high school days, and he's older than I am. So he was aware of the issue of the liability insurance, and although our product is very difficult to look at any kind of liability that could come up, everything has to be handled. Like somebody said, do not underestimate stupid. But the stupid part would be to put yourself out there in any capacity where you can't cover yourself in case somebody does try something. And with something that's Go ahead.
The interesting comparison is that Ian was just on, and he sells a product in the electric world. So electricity is a big deal in product liability, but he sells then commercially and not to the consumer, which again has got its whole different element of complicated when it comes to product liability. You are on the consumer end of things, which kind of has got its own issues.
That's correct. That's very correct. So you just have to cover yourself from something that doesn't have to make sense in the first place in order to happen. And fortunately for the type of product we have, the liability possibilities are very low. So that helps a lot. But a person has to protect themselves, I think, no matter where you are on it, so that whatever process you're in the middle of, you don't get sidetracked for something that you can't control. This is one of the things that you can.
Right. And, so people need to look at, what is their industry that they're dealing with, what could happen, all right? There's a big difference between electrical, child products, that's one of the reasons why there were so many things that say, can they swallow it? You're in one of those industries where, like you said, it's, what could happen, and so it's a little bit easier to manage product liability issues in the paint accessory world as opposed to child world.
That's very correct. And previously we were in making recreational products that included a ladder. Now, if you want something that has high liability probability, there's a ladder. That's really the other end of the scale from where we are. But no matter where you are on the scale, it's a good idea to protect yourself so you don't have a problem you don't need.
Well, and the one thing that we have learned over the years is that there is a step on that ladder for everyone, no pun intended. So, there's product liability that's going to go with any kind of product that you're getting from I have an idea then into the marketplace. And once you enter the marketplace, it is a big deal to make sure that you're covered.
That's absolutely correct. Well, see, you use the word genius, and although the context of which it was used is more for a genius product instead of a genius inventor, I'll take whatever people want to attach to it.
There you go. There you go. Well,
this comes to mind.
You've got, when you're looking at your product liability insurance, does your insurance company say, okay, well, as long as you're selling below so many thousand a month or so many thousand a year, you're at one level, but as soon as you start hitting consistently above a level, then it goes up?
I really don't know what the scale is. Like I say, my brother's the agent, so he handles that, but it's more, from what I understand, more from where your product lies in the scale of vulnerability as far as liability. And
okay. All right.
It's always all a percentage. So if you have a high number that's getting out there, I suppose that increases your chance no matter what you're selling.
Yep. And so you've noticed now since the hardware show that your sales have gone way up.
Our sales have gone up. We've been getting orders from around the country. We're getting phone calls from different publications and so on that want to feature us. We've got interest from 4 different continents. It's
wonderful.
The help that you've been, Rita, is immeasurable. It truly is, and it's certainly appreciated.
So, well, you had a good product there, genius. So we are really grateful for that, too.
All right. Dave, hey, give us some contact information. How can we learn more about Clean Can Solutions?
Well, we've got a website. You can go wesavepaint.com, and there's a video there. It explains exactly where it is. You can order the product right there. It's very affordable, and it saves a lot of frustration.
Say that website one more time.
wesavepaint.com.
Well, Dave, thank you so much on behalf of the Inventor Lady herself and myself. We want to thank you for being a guest of the Invent America Show. Thank you, Dave.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Rita, we're going to have to take a short break. Got to pay some bills. Please visit our website, hometalkusa.com. We're going to come back with another guest, another topic right here on the Invent America radio program in the Home Talk USA radio family. We'll be right back. Yay!
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. We're just moving along. But, Rita, I tell you, that last guest, Dave, he's a character. But, hey, we're going to talk a little insurance right now, right?
We are. Everyone's favorite topic, right? So when it comes to insurance, for product liability insurance, it's a big deal for inventors to be able to protect themselves. And I have known Murray DeLine for, Murray, 15 years?
Oh, Rita, I think 2006 is when we first met.
Yeah. So Murray has been with Madison Insurance Group since 2006. He's a managing partner. I have learned a lot about product liability insurance and, when to talk to him. So, Murray, our inventors, this is a big deal for them, especially if they go into startup mode. And so you taught me a lot just last week when I called you and asked you some of these questions. So break it down for us a little bit. Different industries, different requirements, kind of what you gave to me, which helped a lot. Give that to our listeners.
Well, Rita, I appreciate the chance, and I know this is an exciting topic. So we have 10, 15 minutes that I want to do 3 hours in that period of time. Is that about right?
Break it down to 5 and, just go for it.
So let's start with product liability. What is it? But before I go there, I think a lot of people may understand product liability or not. But there's industries that are just to answer your question, industries, it's huge. It's very difficult of what type of industry to get product liability. Let's just think of the tough industries. Children's products, right? Toys, sports equipment, like skis, tools, ladders, medical devices, could be pacemakers, cosmetic, could be makeup that we're putting on our skin. We could get rashes, chemicals like pesticides. And then, of course, startup companies, you're thinking, well, what is that? Why is that a tough industry? Because there's no history behind it. There's no background. Who are these people? What is this product? What is it going to do? So a startup business is equally a tough industry to get insurance for.
Well, and one of the things that a lot of our inventors hear is that, they'll go in and they'll be, some store is interested in carrying the product, and they're so excited, and then they think, but now you've got to prove to me that you've got product liability insurance. Correct.
So product liability insurance, really what is it? It's design defects, right? It's manufacturer defects. It's things that I have a product, it's a tangible, and when you think about it, that product has to perform. And so the person who's inventing this product has to, they're going to say it'll do this thing, and when it doesn't, who are they going to go back to? They're going to go back to the person who designed it. Or they're going to go back to the manufacturer who built it. So there's 3 basically levels of kind of the most severe would be the manufacturer who's putting that product together. An importer, if the product's manufactured over in China or overseas, and it's imported in, now the importer technically becomes that manufacturer. So even if you go take it somewhere else, whoever has, the U.S. has first hands on it, it would be that importer then. Then it would be the wholesaler and the distributor as you go through that whole supply chain. And then, of course, the retailer.
Right. And so when we look at the difference in a startup, they're going all the way just like you stated, from beginning to end and putting it on a store shelf. But for someone that's doing the licensing where they're handing it off now, they still need some kind of coverage. What is that?
So because they're the one who designed it, they still need to have that product liability. And where do you get product liability? Maybe we answer that question. A lot of these product liability, is through your general liability policy that you're buying through your agent, through your independent
Or they
agent.
call Madison Insurance and they talk to you.
That would be a great place to start.
Yeah, it would be. Hey, give us that website again. How can we reach you, buddy?
Yeah, it's www.madisoninsurance.net. www.madisoninsurance.net.
You're the man. Thank you, my buddy, for being our guest on the Invent America show. Murray DeLine, thank you, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back to wrap up. Got a very important announcement to make when we come back off a break. Right here on the Invent America show, along with my sidekick, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. I'm the Cajun man for the Bayou Land, the originator. Not the duplicated. Please don't accept no substitutions. Man, I was green before green was even cool. We'll be right back. Yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, Rita. Man, I'll tell you what, we had a great show. But as always, we always like to give that information out. If somebody has a product or needs some help or maybe want to know for us to help them out or how to take that path down that road to get their product on the market or just want to be on the show, what can they do?
All they need to do is go to inventorlady.com. The information is there on how to be on the show. All they've got to do is fill out the form. And if they want to attend the meetings, the Inventor Roundtable meetings, they're free. And the information is all right there. All they've got to do is look for the next meeting date.
All right, say that again right now, quick.
Inventorlady.com or Inventors Roundtable.
Well, Rita, as always, I want to thank you for being with us as my sidekick and putting out that information out there. But, hey, we're out of time. But, hey, check out our website at HomeTalkUSA.com for all the information. The Invent America website, Inventor Lady website. Hey, just Google us. We're going to be back next week with another topic. Same bat time, same bat channel, right here on the #1 most download, listen to show. I'm the Cajun Man.
Home Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of InstaBind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yay!